Welcome to This is Cambodia. Coming up into today's program in local news, Cambodia Prime Minister Samdech Hun Sen is calling on Cape Authority to effectively collect property tax for unused land plot in coastal town. The Premier made the comments while presiding over an inauguration ceremony in Cape. China has provided $400,000 to the United Nations Development Program (UNDP) for a cassava project. The project aims to boost the exports and quality of cassava industry in Cambodia. In lighter news, 25 years old Raha Moharrat has become the first Saudi woman to climb Mount Everest. She has also become the youngest Arab to make it to the top of the world's highest mountain. Hello, I am Tana. It's Wednesday, May the 22nd. We begin with local news. Cambodia Prime Minister Samdech Hun Sen has called on Cape authorities to effectively collect property tax for unused land plots in the coastal town. The Premier made the comments while presiding over an inauguration ceremony in Cape. Speaking at the ceremony, the Premier also asked landowners to build fences around their land plots in order to make the coastal town even more attractive to tourists.
Cambodian Prime Minister Samdech Hun Sen has called for effective collection of property tax in Cape province. The Premier made the call today when he presided over an inauguration ceremony in the coastal province, and he has made specific reference to unused land plots in the town of Cape.
We must strictly apply the tax to unused land in compliance with the law and effectively collect those taxes. If there are people who own taxes, urge them to pay tax now or file a complaint with the court. There are some landowner who has not used the land and has refused to pay the tax. So I ask Excellency the Governor to be touched with this. We must collect the tax, and if they refuse to pay, file a court complaint against them.
However, the Prime Minister emphasized that agricultural land is not taxable. Meanwhile, the Cambodian Premier has also called on landowners to build fences for their land to boost the beauty of Cape. Cape is one of the country's popular coastal resorts. The coastal province of Cape received more than 750,000 tourists, both local and foreign, in the year 2012. And during the first 3 months of this year, Cape received about 160,000 tourists and visitors.
Cambodia's election organizing body is seeking to invite election observers from Southeast Asian nations to observe the July elections. The National Election Committee, NEC, says it's working with the country's foreign ministry on the invitations, and NEC will cover board and lodging costs for the observers.
The National Election Committee, NEC, wants observers from ASEAN countries to observe the upcoming elections in Cambodia. NEC says it has plans to invite ASEAN Secretary General and the bloc's member countries to be observers. This is according to NEC officials. The official says NEC is now working with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in these regards. The move aims to encourage more international observers to observe the day before the voting day, and the day after the voting day. NEC say it will invite 2 observers from each ASEAN member country and that it will cover board and lodging costs for the observers. Cambodia will hold its 5th legislative elections this year on July the 28th. So far, 8 political parties have been registered to compete in the elections that are estimated to cost some $20 million, and 9.6 eligible voters across the country are expected to go to vote.
Cambodian authorities have destroyed over a ton of expired products in Seraisaphon town, Banti Minjay province. Officials from Camp Control's provincial branch cooperated with provincial economic police and confiscated over 1,000 tons of expired goods and burned them at a dump site on the outskirts of the town. Officials said those expired goods include instant noodles, beverages, jams, among others. Those expired products have still been on sale before confiscation. A woman was killed after falling off a ride at Dreamland Amusement Park. The park is located across from Nagawal Casino in Srachok Commune, Don Peng District. The woman was identified as Kim Kong Kia, age 33, and she is babysitter from a local NGO in Kandar province. The woman died after being hospitalized from the falling of the ride called Twin Twister on Tuesday evening. Before the accident, she was seen entering the amusement park with 10 other foreigners, and they proceeded to get on the ride on the Twin Twister. She fell and hit the ground without any explanation while she was on the ride, even though the operator advised her to wear a seat belt. Cambodia cassava industry could see further improvement. The Chinese government gave $400,000 to the UN Development Program in Cambodia to invest in the country's cassava industry. The assistance came as Cambodia began exporting its cassava to China, in addition to neighboring Thailand and Vietnam.
A trilateral cooperation between Cambodia, China, and the United Nations Development Program (UNDP) on cassava project. The project aims to boost the exports and the quality of cassava industry in Cambodia. In the workshop, China gave $400,000 to UNDP in an agreement to improve the quality of cassava crops in Pailan and Kampong Cham province. Through the project, farmers will receive training in more advanced cultivation techniques, and there will be studies on soil quality. State Secretary of the Ministry of Agriculture, Excellency Teng Lau, said around 90% of Cambodia's cassava is exported to neighboring Thailand and Vietnam, who then further export to China. UNDP Country Director Setsuko Yamazaki said that quality and technical aspects and lack of access to markets have become a challenge to cassava production in Cambodia. She also said that price distortions in neighboring countries were also a constraint for cassava farmers. Cassava has become the second largest agricultural crop in terms of income, employment, exports, and land cultivated. In Cambodia, cassava cultivation increased sharply from 90,000 hectares in 2006 to around 400,000 hectares in 2011. In 2011, Cambodia agreed to export its cassava to China, and that same year, the first cassava exports from Cambodia to China left from the Phnom Penh Autonomous Port.
That's all in part 1. When we come back, we will bring you more lighter news from the region and around the world. Stay tuned.